Welcome to this week's programme on Clay Shooting TV. This week we have coverage of the British Grand Prix for Compak from here at Barbary. We also have coverage from Westfields, where there was an England selection shoot for Sporting. We have a review of Coniston Shooting Ground, based in the heart of Yorkshire, where the Tour de France is just about to start. We also have news and views from the world of clay shooting. Well, here we are at Barbary Shooting Ground at the British Compak. With Compak, they'll be shooting 5 layouts today, shooting 25 on each target. The competition will be out of 125. What we're looking at here, you have 5 shooting positions, 6 shooters shooting at any one time. You have a hoop situated just behind the first stand. Everybody shoots in rotation. In terms of what you would expect here, you get singles and you get pairs. Each layout varies in terms of having sim pairs, pairs on report. Great thing with Compak, take you about an hour and 20, hour and a half to shoot the 5 layouts that are here. Again, it means you can get a rhythm, speed through. With Compak as well, each of the squads should be able to follow behind each other, so they should be able to see the targets they're going to shoot as they come through. But it is a great Compak. It comes under the FITASC ruling, so under the FITASC governing body. And within the UK then it comes under the BICTSF as their governing body for here. Day 1, Mark Windsor put in a fantastic score of 123 out of 125. See if that's going to be eclipsed today. The weather is much better today. A little bit of sun this morning. Now this afternoon the clouds just coming a little bit, but still perfect conditions. Just a little bit of light breeze. The targets stand out really well in this background. Following our squad with Amy Eastman, Phil Eastman, Cheryl Hall, Trevor Stanton, Josh Bridges and Julian Morris. Really strong squad here. Julian's already put us straight in this morning. Cheryl, of course, will be flying out to Portugal in a week's time to compete in the World FITASC. Amy now competing for Great Britain in the Compak. She'll be going out to South Africa later this year. Really strong squad here. We're here where you've got single and 2 pairs, sim pairs, and Cheryl's recently just become an ambassador for the Shotgun and Chelsea Bun Club. We'll be talking to Victoria from the club in the next few weeks and help look why so many more ladies are coming into shooting. Oh.
Well.
Oh.
Lost kill.
We're here on the last squad of the day. One of the other ladies in contention with Coniston, shooting really well today. She'll be in it amongst it at the very end. She'll be looking to put in a really good finish now on this last stand. This last stand has got 3 singles and a sim pair. Also next to Pet, Jamie Brightman. Jamie again shot really well today, put a number of 25 straights in. He'll certainly be there or thereabouts today. Jamie shoots a lot with his good friend George Digweed. They shoot a lot together, a bit of banter between them. But again, Jamie looks really focused today. Shooting with his game balls. Very, very, very focused. Let's see how he finishes today. Let's see if he finishes with another 25 straight.
Kill lost.
Oh.
Milburn, call again.
One, 2, 3 in today out of 1, 2, 5. How do you feel with that?
Very pleased. Yeah, very pleased. A good score. You know, around Compak, you've really got to get your concentration on. You know, it's all in that. It's all in that arena. Everything's zipping past your ears. It's, you know, you've got to really concentrate. So, yeah, very pleased with it. Very pleased. Shot 2 24s and 3 25s. So nice shooting, but just missed. I missed one silly bird really. The other one was fair enough. I missed, but one silly bird. So 1 2 4, I would have been pleased.
What's the challenge with Compak?
The challenge again, I believe that it's your mental, your concentration. It has to be 100% all the time because you cannot afford to miss anything out there. You know, there's guys coming through today, and sure there's going to be plenty more coming through tomorrow that are quite capable of shooting 1 2 4s, 1 2 5 straights in Compak because it is that tight at the top. So it is your mental game definitely.
So you started with a couple of 24s and then you finished with 25 straight on the next 3 stands, and a couple of those you shot in the rain again. Yeah,
funny enough, the first 2 layouts I shot bone dry. The last 3 were raining and I straighted them. So yeah, the saying says that I shoot better in the rain.
So the Rain Man continues.
Yeah.
This week marks the start of the Tour de France, and it's starting in Yorkshire. We took the opportunity to go very close to the route and visited Coniston Gun Club, near to Skipton in West Yorkshire. The ground is set in stunning surroundings, and the facilities certainly match it. There's a wonderful wooden lodge with a gun room and small shop. There's an extremely well thought out sporting layout, complemented with 4 down the line, 4 skeet and a compact range. The down the lines are all undercover, so it's well worth a visit for an enthusiast or a seasoned clay shot. Shoot Clay Cup is going to be held August this year, and already a fantastic prize fund.
Absolutely, yeah. We've worked really hard with EJ Churchill's and now Blaser and Bremont, and we've put together a prize fund which is approaching the 25,000 mark. So it's long been an ambition of mine to put on a shoot with a really big prize fund in the UK, and here we are.
What is the format of the Shoot Clay Cup?
Right, it's an English sporting competition. It'll be 120 targets over 15 stands. The course is being set by Mark Marshall, who set the World English Sporting Championship. I thought it was really important to get a top-class course setter, and who's got a real pedigree in setting challenging but fun targets, things that are fair. It will be on the EJ Churchill ground. We're not using any of the other land that's at EJ Churchill, just the main ground. And as well as the English Sporting, we've got a pool shoot competition coming up, probably a couple of pool shoots with some big prizes as well. So I think it's going to be an exciting day out.
It's a 2-day event, but people obviously just shoot one of the days. Are there other things on as well for people to come and look at?
Yeah, absolutely. There's so Churchill's are putting on a game fair, so there'll be trade stands and various stalls there, you know, with shooting equipment, shooting gear. Obviously, a little bit more of a game feel as well, as it's coming up towards the end of the clay season and into the game season. But and then pool shoots, and then probably some tri stands as well. I'm pretty sure that Blaser will be down there to promote their guns.
What dates is the event?
So it's August the 22nd and 23rd. It's shoot either day. And there's 3 rotations, 9, 12 and 3 p.m. And people can book online at shootclaycup.com, get their entries in now. We have a fantastic addition this year, which I don't think anybody else is doing in the UK. Blaser are kindly supporting us with a Blaser Luxor shotgun, which we're going to give away as a door prize. So in case people haven't seen that before in the UK, that's basically, we'll draw the back numbers out of a raffle. At the end of the shoot, for a £50 entry, you could win a £6,000 shotgun, which I think is great odds, and will make the Saturday evening a fantastic party. So we're going to have a big party at the end of the day. We want everybody to come back. If you're there and you've shot the event and you're one of the tickets that gets pulled out, you stand a chance of winning that gun.
And in terms of the event itself, will this become an annual event?
My plan is for this to be one of a number of annual events. I'd like to have a Shoot Clay Fit Ask event, I'd like to have a Shoot Clay Compak event, and the Shoot Clay Sporting or the Shoot Clay Cup is obviously will be pride of place because we're an English sporting country. We like that. We like that format here, and it's the one that's the most popular for our shooters.
Talking of ambition, I mean, 4 years ago, Shoot Clay wasn't in existence.
No, it was a drunken Sunday afternoon idea. I was frustrated at the fact that there wasn't a website that I could find good clay shooting information and news, and I decided that I would do it just to gather myself. I said if I had 5,000 hits a month in a year's time, I'd be really happy. Now we sit at 450,000 hits a month. We've got a really active forum with 2,500 members, which is full of banter. Full of arguments, but also full of good ideas and people meeting up and exchanging tips.
Brilliant. Well, thank you for taking some time with us, Matt. Thank you very much indeed.
My pleasure, Phil. Good to see you.
Well, here we are at day 2 on the England selection shoot here at Westfields. Yesterday, Nick Hendrick put a 92 in. That's the score that everybody's going to have to chase today. This morning, I've already seen Chris Childerhouse here, Richard Folds is here as well. They'll be the guys who are going to try and chase that score down. Today, the sun is shining. It's a beautiful sunny day. Yesterday certainly was not so good. Thunderstorms prevailed through the day, so Nick's 92 really was an impressive score. But let's see if that's good enough to win the England selection shoot here at Westfields.
I don't mind, I'll go first if you want, it don't bother me.
And when we look at Westfield, you know, Steve has a reputation for putting really good targets on. Why do you keep coming back to Westfields?
It's one of the few grounds for me that puts consistently really good courses on. Doesn't put anything stupid on, but it's, for me, that it's sort of gravitated a bit over the last few years to become a missing out kind of thing. You know, if you go and shoot a 95, 96, in my mind, you should be over the moon and winning. And a lot of the time you can shoot 95, 96 and be third or fourth. Steve puts on a good mix of tough but shootable targets, and it's consistent, and he puts a good mix on, which is what it's about. It's not just putting long stuff, it's getting a good mix, and he seems to do the job very well.
Well, here on stand 3 is a typical pair that you would get on a Steve Lovett shoot. This is a simultaneous pair, left to right battues. One of the battues is lower than the other, and the second is slightly quartering away. Again, it's one of those Marmite stands, as I like to call them. The key here was to get the correct hold point. Many people just misread that target. Let's have a look now in a little bit more detail how people are shooting this. Stand 3 itself is used at a number of competitions of Steve's, and Steve is always looking to make the shooter work hard for their score on this particular stand. Of course, Steve always varies the targets, but here you're stood in the pit with very little vision. All you have is the sky to look at. So it's vitally important to do your homework before you enter the stand.
That second ball on this, that bit too far.
We're on stand 1 here at Westfields, and it is an England selection shoot, and with that comes a challenge of a target. You're certainly not going to see an England selection shoot at Westfields 1 on 100 straight. Certainly today there are a lot of good targets there that Steve's put on. Again, speed, angle, distance. Certainly seen here on stand 1. Got them both coming off a cherry picker. Got a left to right crosser, slightly quartering towards you, but only very slightly, and rising very sharply. And then a driven, which is going over your left hand shoulder. The driven, more standard a target, slightly slower. The first target they're coming out certainly is going with some speed. And it is a midi, so as it's going out, it's certainly taking a little bit of reading. We're coming through and then taking that second one. It's certainly a very interesting stand here. Really interesting targets for people to shoot. Last weekend was the first of the England Talent Pathway training days. There will be 10 over the coming months for aspiring juniors. The trap shooters are receiving training at Nut Hampstead Shooting Ground, and the Olympic skeet hopefuls were at Southern Counties. We will be attending one of the days soon to bring you a full report and interviews.
Yo! Yo!